will call and pick up the phone. But I know you with a brother. You know, did you ever step in and be like, "Hey, that girl is not for you, sir"?
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, he was not necessarily left at the altar, but he was engaged to be married, and had one decide she wanted to flooze around, so
Yeah.
he lucked out on that one. I mean, she was a little hard to deal with, but my brother liked fast women.
Mm-hmm.
He liked running. He was a little bit of a had a little bit of a wild streak in him. So he figured out early that if he was going to run around with flooze around with some lady that he knew everybody wouldn't approve on, he would. He seemed to always date them that lived. We always said the BFE. He always bumfuck Egypt. He'd always end up like somebody out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So my dad would never be like, "Nah, I ain't driving you out there to see her. You just get in the car and go."
Yeah.
So he was smart. So yeah, there were some some weird ladies that came in and out of the house from time to time, but yeah, he met the right one this time. She's a good lady. She takes care of him. I think he takes good care of her, and they got two beautiful kids. But yeah, there was a couple. That one did him a favor walking out on him, though he didn't think so at the time. But yeah, we had told him for months, you know, you got to get out of this situation. It's a bad situation. So
Somebody wants to be with a harlot.
so shout out to the guy that knocked her up before Josh got married.
Oh, sweet mother.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. What else you got over there, man?
Look, I was gonna hit on this. Did you see Mookie Betts?
Man,
365 million over 12
he's
years.
about to get paid, man.
Pat Mahomes and Mookie Betts can buy their own team right now.
He's about to get paid, man.
Like 365 million, $65 million signing bonus, Tonio. That's not even. Does that count on the 365? I think the signing bonus is extra, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's on the top. So he got 65 million for signing his name on that paper today.
As soon as I seen it, my first thought was, man, how could I get Ashton into playing baseball?
Or soccer. Dude, have you seen the salaries of the soccer guys? Look at Cristiano Ronaldo's salary.
I keep thinking man, baseball's gotta be a sport to push him into.
Yeah, all the basketball guys are getting. I remember Kevin Garnett signed that $120 million contract.
And we thought that was like,
I thought it was like,
yeah,
Jesus, Kevin Garnett's a billionaire. Now it's like Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, now you're seeing like 360, 500. Like, man, what is going on between baseball, soccer? It's like, man, like I need to, track ain't really doing it, man.
Nah. Basketball really is. Basketball's kind of took like a third or fourth wheel on this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think their cap's like 90 million, 92 million or something like that. The most they can pay a top-notch guy right now. Is that right? Something like that. I think that's what LeBron's getting. I think LeBron's getting like 88, 92, something like that million.
Have you seen his video floating around ESPN or YouTube or whatever it is? T.O. shows off his speed versus Tyreek Hill.
I saw that as fake news. Tyreek Hill was 10 yards behind that man before he got going.
Hey, well, Chad Johnson looked good. You don't think so?
Did you see he had a 22 mile an hour on a treadmill thing?
Hey.
Yeah, but what they didn't show you is that was like 3 seconds. He shut that thing off as soon as that camera went off. Man. Shut it off! Shut it off! Shut it off! Or he went flying across the room.
Absolutely exquisite editing.
Nah, T.O.'s a freak, man.
Yeah, he's still.
Chad's a freak.
He's still like T.O. He's like 46, man. He's still moving out here. I could barely get out of bed.
So you seen Herschel Walker?
Is he looking pretty good?
He fought in MMA in a couple of fights.
I didn't even see it. I've seen.
No, what's a Bellator? What's the B League?
Bellator.
Yeah, he fought in Bellator. He was like undefeated in Bellator. It's like he's like 50-some years old.
Yeah.
Looks like a friggin'
It's like Tyson.
Mack truck. Yeah, Tyson. Yeah, but I heard on his Rogan or somebody that he's taking testosterone.
Really?
Not testosterone. What is it that old people like when you get like over 50 or 60 years old? Like you can take this. What called. I can't remember what Rogan said it was, but it was like
Metamucil?
they were replacing Metamucil. Now they were like replacing. There's like replacing hormones or something in his body. Something you could do. You can go through. God, I wish I could remember the name of it now. But they were saying a lot of MMA fighters do that. Like St. Pierre. Remember he left for like 3 or 4 years and he came back and was like dominant.
Yeah.
One, he's probably one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Yeah, of course.
Agree with that.
Yeah.
But two, they said he was taking like whatever this therapy, this stem cell transplant or testosterone replacement stuff. I mean, he was doing something like that, it was completely legal at the time. Turned him into a friggin' beast. They're saying Tyson's doing the same thing. They said Holyfield's doing the same thing. They're prepping all this up for a Tyson Holyfield rematch. You know that, right?
Well, first of all, Holyfield looks horrible right now.
I thought he looked all right. He looked like he knocked me out.
I think I can get away from him. I think I can slip a couple of his punches.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yes, I've been known to buy the weed pretty well, man. I think I can get away from him, man.
Sneak one in on you. That's what I've heard, that they're prepping for Holyfield Tyson 3.
I like to see that, but I think Tyson would beat the brakes off him. It's just me.
I thought Tyson beat the brakes off him, then Holyfield was just smart enough to know how to get away from him.
Yeah.
Tyson never connected something with him, and Holyfield still be trying to wake him up.
Yeah, man, that's true.
But
man, 365 million extension. Mookie Betts, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Now I'm telling you, man, like Mahomes, you think Aaron Rodgers isn't watching that?
Man, every quarterback that's coming up on the contract year, there's probably dudes that are coming up to the contract year 2 years from now thinking, hey, man, I see all this money.
Yeah. I don't know where it's coming from, but I want some of it.
I'm getting in on this as soon as it's my time.
You're going to turn around Matt Ryan, Stafford, all those guys, man. That's why Prescott's pitching such a fit, man.
Because I would too if I was him. Like, man, go ahead and get your ducats, man.
Prescott getting tied Mahomes' shoes.
Yeah, man, go ahead and get your ducats, man. I'm just saying, man. Like, I'm a firm believer of, hey, man, if everybody else is getting it and you are at the top of your class in your sport or whatever you do, then you too, sir, should be equally compensated. Now, everybody can't be equally compensated the same.
What quarterback in the NFL deserves as much or more money than Patrick Mahomes, though? None. Brady, maybe, but Brady's on his way out.
I think Lamar's right on there. He's on the edge of it. After he comes out of his rookie contract, they're gonna have to pay him, man.
You think
they're gonna have to pay him.
He's gonna get a $500 million?
I'm not saying that. I think they're gonna have to pay him though.
I think Mahomes is like Mahomes is getting a contract like Brady would have got 10 years ago.
Who's the quarterback over at Houston?
Watson.
He's gonna get paid.
You think Watson's gonna get paid like that?
He's been playing great. Has he had a bad season yet? He's only been in the league for what, 2-3 years?
I think he got hurt, but no, he hasn't had a bad.
He's been playing great, man.
But I mean, who's the top 5? Who's your top 5 quarterbacks right now?
That's a good question.
Mahomes got to be at the top, right?
That's a good question.
And you got to take Rodgers and you got to take Brady out because they're older at the end of their career.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what about the kid from Garoppolo? What about Cam?
I wasn't a big fan of Garoppolo, man. I never was a big fan of Garoppolo.